Hello. My name is Callista and welcome back to Roottreemania. In the last episode, we got another round of lock-ins. I am very happy as that hasn't happened for quite a while, and I have leads. For the first time in a long while, I have actual leads that I can follow. Now, we were looking up Roottree Australia. This Robin, there was mention. Yes. Her name was Robin. So they were an item. Whether or not they have kids, I don't know. But they definitely were an item at some point, so we should still look that up. The reason why I say I don't know if they had kids is because we have Susan Ford and this. We have Roottree Brazil. We have Roottree China. We have Roottree Australia. And potentially Roottree France, although I don't think anything happened there because the wife he went after said no. Eloise said no. So I don't know if anything happened with Guy in France, but like we have like 2 things that we haven't settled on, and we have 4 different locations. So he can't have had kids with everyone he had an affair with. So this is where it's getting tricky. It was already tricky before, but now we have multiple affairs, and some of them may not have resulted in children. This is tricksy. This is very tricksy. Okay, so that's the exact same thing. So let's look up Robin Martin. Robin Martin is featured in many of the top 100 wealthiest women in the world lists. She owns a private island off of the coast of Australia where she reportedly has her own exclusive retreat. She has no husband, and there was a widely circulated rumour somewhere in the mid-70s that she had a medical procedure to ensure that she would never have children. You find a joke on a site called Edgy Jokes that implies she is quite promiscuous and has a punchline involving Robin's eggs. For what it's worth, Martin seemed to lean into the rumours. In the 80s, she once showed up at a charity function with 3 very attractive men on each wearing a shirt that said simply, "Satisfied Partner" on it. Okay. So, mid-70s, when did... 79... If she did have a hysterectomy or something similar, then she was just an affair partner. Okay. And then, last but by no means least, we have China Roottree. China Roottree is one of the companies created to manufacture and distribute Roottree candy. It was developed as part of the Roottree Everywhere initiative in the summer of 1979. During the late 70s, China began to go through a period of economic reform. This led to new opportunities for American companies, and the Roottree Candy Company decided to pounce. Lang Hongbo, who was said to personally win over the Roottree family and was the owner of multiple textile factories, did not wish to import the ingredients and build a special factory to manufacture the candy in China. So instead they made a deal to import bulk unpackaged Roottree candy and label it for not only China but additional markets. Hangbo, who was already in his mid-50s when the deal happened, only had daughters, and his brother Lang Hongyu took control upon his death in 1986. After Hongyu died in 1992, it passed to the oldest child from the next generation, Lang Xinyu. Okay. So this clearly, Lang is the surname. And I guess in China it's the same as in Japan where the first name comes second. Okay. Again, we have multiple names here, so let's you come across a website for the Lang Tai Textile Corporation, which is a company that has helped expand Roottree's products to China since the late 1970s. The company seems very accomplished. Their site has quotes from many different reporters and news articles listed on it, in nearly every language. It's also mentioned quite often on the websites about Chinese businesses, but those mentions are company-focused and not people-focused, and don't offer any information useful to your investigation. Their page contains a very rudimentary leadership timeline, with names that prove that the company has been in the Lang family for a long time. It kind of looks like a family tree. It goes back at least 250 years in some form or another. During the period where they began the Rootree deal, Lang Hongbo, in China, the family name comes first, so Lang is his last name, was the CEO. He died before the internet was widespread, so there's not much out there other than his name on this website. His younger brother, Lang Hongyu, is featured on the history section directly following him. This also seems to be the only mention of the man. The current CEO is a woman listed simply as Xin Yu. The site doesn't list her last name, although she does appear in the family tree below Hongbo. Lang Tai has a few American logos on its page. One is the Rootree logo, another is Tranquilts, and the third is Piece of Asia. Okay, well, I'm going to go into the companies, and then we'll circle back to the names. It seems Tranquilts is a play on tranquil and quilts. The name is ironic considering they're the loudest quilts you've ever seen. The main quilt featured on their website is a flaming unicorn soaring through space with peace symbols around it. Although they were listed on the website for the Lang Tai Textile Company, they don't seem to have much of a connection. It appears that they import cloth. Okay, and then Piece of Asia. Piece of Asia is the American arm of Lang Tai, located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. According to their site, the Tai in Lang Tai translates to peaceful, so they chose their name in America to match. There are a lot of other companies listed here, too many to investigate, as very few of them seem to have any relevance. It seems Piece of Asia is nearly as accomplished as Lang Tai. They offer fabrics and cloths at wholesale prices. You don't spot anything out of the ordinary. The business is said to be owned by husband and wife Jerry and Linda Han. Their Chinese names are listed too, and from using an online translator, it seems that Jerry is Han Junwei and Linda is Lang Jinyao. Okay. Oh my god, there are so many names. For ages there's been like nothing, and now we have all of these names. Which would... I feel like looking up their Chinese names would probably... Okay, so that's that, and then... Okay, so we have that. Let's... Where would this be? I think... Let's go China. There we go. And then... There we go. And is there anything on, Ooh! Jerry, Linda, and Mark Han appeared recently on a website called Focus on Philanthropy under the headline Hanging with the Hands. The Hands were chosen because they donate significantly to causes that further Chinese-American culture. Jerry and Linda were born in China and fell in love during college. Linda's father led a large company. This article never names it. After it expanded to the US, Linda's father approved of their marriage so long as Jerry took over the US portion of the business. Linda jokes that the entire situation is like something out of an Alanis Morissette song, with how ironic it all ended up. I was absolutely terrified to move to the United States, but my big sister was desperately in love with the idea. She used to have this Butch Cassidy poster on her wall and was obsessed with Robert Redford. But somehow, Jerry and I were the ones sent here, and now we couldn't possibly imagine going back. When we had Mark, we never even considered giving him a traditional name. Meanwhile, my sister stayed in China and has thrived there. She doesn't even like visiting the US anymore. Our kids are complete opposites though. Mark couldn't wait to travel abroad as soon as he was old enough. He's actually in business school in China now, working alongside my sister. Our niece, who grew up there, was the opposite. She couldn't wait to get here. She started calling herself Lucy Lang in high school and flew out here as soon as she graduated. The name change apparently drove my sister absolutely loco. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so Linda is a Lang, and they're the people who own Lang Tai. Okay. Okay, let's. I'm. There's so much information. There's so much information. Let's grab that. Linda's father let it. So no, but it is the Lang Tai. I think. Yeah. I mean, literally, right there. Yeah, so it is the Lang Tai. Yeah, you're all right to marry my daughter as long as you take over the US portion of the business. Who is... I don't know who that is. I'm going to assume it's someone important. And I don't suppose we're going to get anything. Okay. Oh. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid was a popular 70s film. Robert Redford, who played the Sundance Kid, is famously redheaded. So we have... So there are two daughters, one of whom has a thing for redheads. And who's a redhead? Guy. Okay. Is there anything on... Lucy Lang is not exactly a common name, but it's not the most uncommon you've come across either. There are a few that come up with any searchable details, so it might be possible to narrow down your possibilities. A Lucy Lang is mentioned on a robotics website as part of Team Talonclaw. Team Talonclaw are one of only 2 teams from the US participating on a new robot-based show in the UK. Another Lucy Lang is part of a small women's a cappella group in Los Angeles called the Gin and Tonics. A third Lucy Lang works in New York for a business called Corporate Synergetic Solutions Unlimited. Okay. I'm gonna... Right, let's highlight that. And that will bring me back to this page. I'm not going to start searching into Lucy Lang just yet. However, this is... I'm just trying to do, like, time maths in my head. It sounds like Mark and Lucy, they're cousins, and they're of a similar age. Which would theoretically mean Lucy could be one of Guy's kids. That's what I'm trying to figure out, if this is his kid or someone he had an affair with. And if she's got a cousin who she's of a similar age to, and he's in, like, business school, that would imply she's young. She's too recent to have been an affair partner. Okay. Lang Hong Bo. We'll just search up Lang Hong Yu just in case. Yeah, that we've got that. And then Xin Yu. Hello there. Lang Xin Yu In China, the family name comes first, so Lang is her last name, is a businesswoman currently running the Lang Tide Textile Company. She was recently listed in an article on a website written by and for women. The article, entitled Empowered, is about the recent rise of women entrepreneurs in China. The article states that due to her lack of brothers, she has a younger sister. Lang Jinyu took over as CEO of her family's company in 1992, after her elderly uncle was deemed unfit to run the company due to mental deterioration. This was apparently an extremely controversial move amongst the company's employees, and some of them, the article does not state how many, quit, and wrote a letter stating that she must have coerced him in his vulnerable state. Ah, good old sexism. Since then, the company has been performing well. Her nephew, who is currently her second in command, is expected to take over when she retires. In the meantime, the board's stance has been a twist on a popular proverb. The article roughly translates it as, someone that has proven they can do something well can do it 100 times well. An unproven leader could doom us all. The article also offhandedly mentions that Xinyu was an early adopter of IVF and helped her sister have a child. There is an unsourced picture of Xinyu in the article. It says that it's from 1992 when she took over. She was 45 at the time. It has been added to your evidence. Okay. Hello there. A photo of Lang Jinyu from a recent article about the growth of female entrepreneurs in China. She runs a business with many textile factories. Some manufacture packaging for American products. Okay. Okay. I wonder what this says. I wonder what that says. Okay. Okay. Back to here. Do we have... History. No, actually, we don't, ba-da. Okay, no, we don't have anything more specific for that. Okay, no, that's that. However, but yet this is the older sister. This is the one who had an obsession with redheads. If we just search up IVF, like that's... Ooh. Okay, I mean, it's giving us a thing. IVF, or in vitro fertilization, is a medical procedure that allows a woman to give birth to a child that was initially created in a laboratory. Sometimes this can be referred to as a test tube baby in popular culture. A woman does not necessarily need to give birth to a child developed from her own genetics. Sometimes, for example, a baby from an egg donor could be used. Other times, a woman could act as a surrogate mother for another woman who is unable to carry a child herself. If it does come up for the purpose of your family tree, an IVF child from a surrogate mother will be marked as belonging to their genetic parents, and the surrogate who gave birth will not necessarily appear on the chart unless she is also part of the family. That said, be sure to investigate these situations very carefully. They can often be tricky or misleading. Okay. Okay, so this... The fact that we can look up the definition of IVF, and it's like, A, be careful. This can be tricksy. This can be tricksy. I mean, I'm pretty sure Are we going off of real world laws here? Also, what are the rules around IVF in China? I know that at least in America, you can't be approved for IVF unless you yourself have already given birth to a child and carried it to term. I know that's one of the rules for IVF in the States. I don't know about that for the rest of Europe, but I know in America at least. The only reason I know that is because I read a lot of, you know, r/am I the arsehole stories on Reddit. And the number of them are like, oh, you know, my sister wants me to be her surrogate, but I have concerns. And you'll see in the comments a lot of people saying, have you ever gotten pregnant and carried a child to term? Because if you haven't, then legally you can't be a surrogate. So if they want you to do this, they're gonna do it informally. So, like, be careful. Are there the same rules about that in China? Because if there are, then that means Xinyu must have already been a mother. But if that's not a thing in China, or they're not using that, I don't know. I don't know. The fact that we've been given a picture. We've been given a picture. I'm reckoning we only have the one spot left, I think. This is the one who had the obsession with redheads. I'm thinking... Lang is the surname, Xinyu. Down to the bottom. So, Xinyu. I've gone past it, Lang. And you are... I guess, would that be CEO? She's a CEO. And now apparently you have a daughter. Take me back there. Okay. The show is based in the UK, but she's from the US team. LA, New York, we can look up all of this. It'll be interesting at the very least. Team Talonclaw is a robotics club of Mid-Eastern University. Their robot, also named Talonclaw, has been selected for an appearance on the second season of a British television show focused on... It's Robot Wars! I loved Robot Wars, oh my god! The second season of a British television show focused on robot fighting. A small blurb mentions that robot fighting leagues have existed for a few years, but there have been recent moves to televise it. Talonclaw was one of 2 teams selected from the US. The Robotics Club has a text-only site you can find linked from the university students section. The site seems like it's used mostly to announce the schedule to its members. The club is supposed to meet every Tuesday and Thursday, but the last 8 dates have all been cancelled because a few members of the team are currently in the UK filming. Another date from a few weeks back was cancelled for an interview with the school's newspaper. At the bottom, the travelling members of Talonclaw are listed as team captain Jai Patel and supporting members Lucy Lang and Kurt Hauser. Okay. Do we have... Hello. What would that be? I get maybe Team Talonclaw? The Herald has a story about their school's robotics team, Team Talonclaw. It lists 3 student members and talks a bit about each of their history, including their interest in robotics. Hello. The only one that catches your attention is Lucy Lang. She grew up in China as Min Lang, but came to the US specifically to attend university. She says she grew up around factory-scale machines that assembled products that would be shipped all over the world, and the moving parts and automation fascinated her. However, as she has progressed through her major, she has become obsessed with smaller, more powerful hydraulics, such as the mechanism that closes Talonclaw's weapon. In addition to robotics, she loves linguistics. One of her hobbies since coming to the States has been collecting accents. In her spare time, she practices not only removing any trace of her native inflection, but also quickly switching between multiple different regional accents. She feels her personal best is the Southern Belle, but her favourite is the Valley Girl due to use in popular culture. The article has a picture now in your evidence. Okay, you. Why, that is a good robot. That would do well on Robot Wars. That would do really well. This is a photo of Lucy Lang, aka Lang Min, with Talonclaw, the robot she worked on at Mid-Eastern University. You found it in the school's newspaper. That's... Are you doing something similar to Elias, but not quite the same? Elias named his creations after his kids. However, if this is the right Lucy Lang, and it's Min, the, take me to the last one. Sugar plum, strawberry, gigua, butterscotch, caviar. None of these are M. But X, here's what I'm thinking. Xinyu. Shigua. I think you're naming them after your conquests rather than your kids. Oh, that makes me feel a wee bit dirty. That makes me feel a wee bit dirty. I'm not into that. Back up. J. Back off. There's no J. There's no J. So we weren't able to get something from there. You know what? Just in case. The Gin and Tonics are a college a cappella group out of Los Angeles. Lucy Lang is listed as a soprano. There doesn't seem to be much else about her other than her name, and that she performs as a soloist on a song called Like the Wind. The group were featured on a CD pop compilation called Boca, performing a cover of a popular boy band song. It doesn't seem relevant to your search. I'm gonna search it though. Ooh. Okay, Subways of Your Mind by FEX is an early 1980s pop song, and it was a #1 hit in many countries, though it peaked at 6 in the US. It is still played to this day on contemporary stations around the world and is often found on compilation discs of popular music. One reviewer at the time was quoted as saying, "Subways of Your Mind is one of those rare songs that feels like it has always existed, and the artist just plucked it fully formed from the collective ether. It's hard to imagine a world in which this modern classic won't become a regular part of our audio landscape for the next 100 years. What a sad, empty world that would be." FEX had many follow-ups that were just as popular in European countries, though their continued success was significantly more limited in the United States. Their next single, Talking Hands, only reached 24, and their third single, Modern Danger, failed to chart at all. Due to Subways of Your Mind famously starting with the catchy opening phrase, Like the Wind, and perhaps also due to its somewhat lengthy title, those seeking out or requesting it are often search for Like the Wind. Many lyric sites and music hosting sites even label it incorrectly, making this mistake even more common. When searching for combinations of Like the Wind and attempting to narrow it down to results that include the Roottrees, you find that an obscure Irish band called U2 once cited both FEX and Jim and Diamond as inspirations. As far as you can tell, neither FEX nor Subways has anything to do with your search, and seeing as U2 is relatively unknown to anyone outside of Dublin, the connection seems to be an odd coincidence. Okay. Okay, BOCA stands for Best of College A Cappella, and it has existed since 1995. It's a compilation of various a cappella groups from different colleges, often performing covers of popular music. It doesn't appear very relevant to the Roottrees or anyone connected to the Roottrees. Nobody has done a cover of a song by Jim and Diamond, for example. Maybe someday. Okay, so yeah, I don't think... Yeah, I think it was the Team Talonclaw Lucy Lang that we were looking for. Although I can't help myself. Corporate Synergetic Solutions Unlimited, there goes my timer, is a company located in New York City. Lucy Lang is a lead synergy engineer who is listed as being ranked one of the top facilitators in the world by Business Watch magazine. As far as you can tell, CSSU is a company that other companies hire as consultants to increase productivity. It's unclear the exact services they provide. The site is light on details. There are a few high-profile companies listed on their site as former clients. You recognize their names, but none of them are related to your current investigation. Well, but before I forget... Yeah, so this isn't... This definitely isn't the Lucy Lang we're looking for. A Lucy Lang was listed in Business Watch for her work with Corporate Synergetic Solutions Unlimited. She's in an article about consultants that corporations hire to facilitate large internal changes. Each person featured in the article has a small bio section, followed by a longer section about why they were chosen. Lucy's bio section mentions that she grew up in a small Arkansas town, the oldest of 4 children, and she's the only second person in her family to have ever left the state, since her great-grandparents relocated in the early 1900s. She earned her degree from a prestigious New York college, started as a junior associate synergy engineer, and in 8 short years has worked her way up the company ladder. Now at age 32, she's the youngest lead synergy engineer in the company's history. The article calls her one of the top facilitators in the US due to her work on a merger between 2 regional dial-up service providers. As a direct result of her organizational changes and policies, the new companies managed to eliminate over 200 redundant positions as part of the merger, making it an instant success. Can we? Okay, that's Miami, Florida. Is there anything in LA? Okay, no. Okay, yes, so I think this is Min. I think this is Min, and we shall put that onto the family tree in the next episode. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. A special thanks to my channel members, such as SM2K, Christopher K. Davis, CGG, and Kevin Bicknell. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.